Hey everyone, trying again, slight technical difficulties tonight. I was trying to try something new with my Facebook Live tonight. I was trying to share it in a group that I manage, Inspired Women with Jen, at the same time as sharing it on here, and internet fail. It didn't work, so here I am back again, starting again. So I'm Jen Turnham. I'm the host of Inspired Women with Jen, which is basically a ladies only Facebook group. And it's a community of ladies who lift each other up, support each other, and help each other to basically do more things that we love and hit our goals, achieve more in life. Tonight's topic of this Facebook Live stream is I'm going to talk about 5 secrets to get motivated. You can download my free ebook on this topic. I'll put the link in the description if I can after I've posted. I did have it in the description earlier, but obviously that Facebook Live failed, so I'm trying to start again. But the link, if you need it, is jenniferjdreamchaser.com/free download. So that's where you can get the ebook version of basically what I'm talking about tonight. It also recently got published. So this week I found out that the article got published in the Mind, Body and Spirit edition of the Smart Healthy Women magazine, which is pretty cool. But if you want your own copy, then jenniferjdreamchaser.com/free download. Topic again is 5 secrets to get motivated. The things that, I suppose the 2 main things that I've learnt recently about how motivation works from personal experience, and probably 2 really powerful. The first is a really powerful thing, and that is that motivation, you can't expect to be motivated 100% of the time. And I also don't think it's necessarily always possible to just snap your fingers or do something and then you're magically motivated. I think it's really powerful to accept that motivation actually comes in ebbs and flows. So there will be times when you're super motivated, and then there will be other times when you're really struggling to get motivated. And that's okay. And I think the minute that you accept that and you just go with it, then it takes the pressure off, and it actually alleviates a lot of that frustration that I know I've experienced in the past, where I'm thinking, I've got so much to do. I want to get motivated because I want to get stuck into my business projects or whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve. And it can be really frustrating if you just can't seem to muster up that motivation. Whereas if you accept that it comes in peaks and troughs, ebbs and flows, however you want to think of it, then it's easier to just go, well, all right, it's just not happening for me at the moment, but later on today I might get hit by some motivation, or tomorrow it could be a different story. So I think that's the first thing that will really help in terms of if you're struggling to find some motivation. The second thing that's really helped me is take notice of the things that do work for you in terms of what have you done in the past that has brought on that feeling of motivation, and you can try and then replicate that in the future. But on to my 5 secrets to get motivated. As I said, these things it's not the magic wand. It's not going to be every time you do this it might work, but definitely some secrets to try and see if you can muster up some motivation. So the 5 secrets are, first of all, change your state. Second of all, talk or think in 1 hour blocks of time. Number 3 is, I call the red cross on the calendar. Number 4 is identify unhelpful thoughts. And number 5 is identify your why. So let's go through those in a little bit more detail. Number 1, change your state. Now, you might have heard there's some terms in psychology, state versus trait. So traits are kind of considered more stable characteristics of our personality, so to speak. Whereas a state is something that comes and goes, so it's something that we can actually change. The easiest way to change your state is to physically shock your body. So a friend of mine I know, when she was looking to shock herself and try and get some motivation, she lives in California, and if it was really hot weather, she used to basically roll around on the floor on her cold tiles, and she reckons that worked for her. I've never tried that, so I can't testify to that particular technique, but one of the things that I love to do is crank up the music of one of my favourite songs, put it on really loud on the stereo, and basically dance like nobody's watching and sing at the top of my voice. And I find that always puts me in, it always elevates my motivation a couple of notches. Number 2, I'm just going to go through these really briefly because, as I said, you can download the full version of my article at jenniferjdreamchaser.com/free download. The second secret to get motivated is it's really helpful to break your time down into, say, 1 hour blocks. I found this really helpful when I have to put my head down, bum up, and get stuck into something that perhaps has a deadline or something that I kind of really need to do it today, and I just really can't find any motivation to do it, is just thinking in 1 hour blocks. So, for example, I've got to do something for my part-time job, and I just say to myself, all right, well, if I just do it for 1 hour and then I'll see how I go. And what you'll often find is once you get stuck into that task, you'll do it for an hour, and that hour may then continue because you may actually find some motivation to continue. So it's good to start with 1 hour blocks. Worst case scenario, you just do an hour and then you stop because the motivation hasn't come, but at least you've still achieved that 1 hour of work. So that's the second secret to getting motivated. The third one is what I call the red cross on the calendar. And this is actually something that Jerry Seinfeld talked about when he was asked what his secret was to becoming a comedian. He basically said that you need to write jokes every single day. And somebody was like, well, how do you do that? And he talked about putting a red cross on the calendar. So you print off calendar, and then basically every time you do your 1 hour or you take a step towards your goal or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you put a red cross on the day in the calendar. And the goal is to basically get a chain of red crosses, and the longer the chain gets, the more motivated you are to not break that chain. So that's number 3. You can thank Jerry Seinfeld for that one. The fourth secret to getting motivated is to identify your unhelpful thoughts. This is something that takes a bit of practice, but the power of being able to be an observer of your thoughts is just amazing. It's a really good skill to have, and it has so many kind of future implications in terms of cognitive behavior therapy, changing your life, like just so many other implications. So the first step is to become an observer of your thoughts. And then if you come across some that are perhaps not really helpful, if you're having a bit of a lazy day, I'm too tired, I can't be bothered, once you identify those unhelpful thoughts, then you can analyze them and perhaps just push them aside, or almost consciously visualize pushing them out of your mind in order to make way for more helpful thoughts. But again, that's a whole nother topic in terms of how we can reframe things and replace unhelpful thoughts with helpful thoughts. But if you can just start to observe some of those unhelpful thoughts that you have, and in some cases it is easy to just push them aside. And the final number 5 on my 5 secrets to get motivated is to identify your why. You've probably heard of this before because it's something that a lot of people talk about, but it is really, really powerful. So if you're trying to achieve something in life and you can identify why you're doing it, then that is really powerful in terms of getting things done, finding some motivation, and just really knuckling down and getting stuck into it. So some questions that can help you identify your why are along the lines of, what are the things that kind of really excite you? What are some things that light you up inside and really get you fired up and really motivated? And they're the sorts of things that you should be doing to muster motivation. So it's kind of almost circular. Who is going to benefit? So if you take this action, if you achieve these goals, who's going to benefit from that? Why is it important to do it now? Because that adds that sense of urgency. And how will you feel once you've achieved that goal, or once you've started to make progress towards that goal? And once you've identified your why, and it really is as simple as, why are you doing this? And those questions just kind of help you think about it in a little bit more detail. But if you can identify why you're doing something, and really we're talking about the why at a heart level. So as I say, what motivates you, what fires you up inside, that's what we're really trying to get to when we're talking about your why, and a why in the sense that it's going to actually motivate you to action. And once you've identified your why, my suggestion would be to write it down, pin it up somewhere, put it in your diary, put it somewhere where you can pull it out and use it to try and get some motivation. So they're my 5 secrets to getting motivated. Hopefully you found some little gems in there, but just to recap, first of all, change your state. Do something to physically shock your body, whatever works for you. I've given a few tips on that in my article. Work on 1 hour blocks of time, because at the very least you at least make 1 hour of progress towards your goal. Red cross on the calendar. Take a leaf out of Jerry Seinfeld's book. Identify your unhelpful thoughts and identify your why. And if you want more information, as I said, there's a free download, jenniferjdreamchaser.com/free download. And if you'd like to join my ladies only Facebook group, where this is the sort of stuff we talk about all the time, then that's Inspired Women with Jen. So you can search for it on Facebook. Thanks for listening. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. And I will chat with you through the week, or maybe see you next week on Tuesday live stream. Have a great night. See you soon.